Hooked on Fishing with Wes and Dave Peterson is sponsored by Hardee's.
Welcome to Hooked on Fishing. I'm Michelle, and we do thank Jason and his staff at the Hardee's stores in Hibbing and International Falls for sponsoring the show, featuring made-from-scratch biscuits and hand-breaded chicken tenders, and of course, charbroiled Angus burgers. Hardee's is happy to sponsor Hooked on Fishing. Welcome to Hooked on Fishing. I'm Michelle. Dave and Wes are here. It is the 2nd of September. Hey, guys.
Hey, how you doing, Michelle?
Good. Nice to drag you guys both in off the water.
I know it's hard. It's hard to get our schedules, to match up to make this happen. But I'm being honest. I mean, summers are short here, very short,
and you make the most of it.
Well, and I just have so many people that are wanting to fish, and it gets kind of crazy once in a while. But it's very fun.
Good. Well, that must mean the fishing's been good.
Oh, yeah. Probably should start out with the bass tournament a little bit, though. I mean, did you talk about it a lot last week?
Yeah, quite a bit. Yeah.
What do you have a take?
Well, I interviewed Ian Water and Tony Jackson, and it was fun talking to Ian because he's such a good fisherman. I mean, at about 5 years ago, Gary Potter, who started this tournament, told me, he said, watch out for the kid his name is Ian Water from Winnipeg. He said, this guy is a tremendous fisherman. And yeah, so he ends up winning the Fort Francis tournament, and then he wins this one. And the guy is just awesome. But yeah, it was fun interviewing him, and he is he's going to start fishing professionally.
Is he? Yeah.
So
I did read, this is probably maybe 2 weeks ago already now, about a tournament on Lake of the Woods, and I don't know where this lines up in the scheme of, major tournaments, but I think that was a 2-day tournament, and I think 5 fish each day, and I think they averaged was either 10 or 12 pounds per fish.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, that is...
My neighbor fished it.
Bass?
No, walleyes.
Walleyes.
Talking walleyes.
Yeah, but that's...
But pounds?
10 pounds. Yeah, I think it was at least 10, and I'm thinking it might even been 12. I should look that up again.
Yeah, I think it's like 55 pounds or something. It's for 5 fish.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But fishing around here has been excellent.
Crappies, walleyes, all of the above?
Both, yeah.
Yeah. Wes and I did caught a bunch of crappies, then people wanted to catch walleyes, so one of our boats was out there, so we all went out there, and we ended up, I think the three boats, we caught 24 walleyes, so it was good fishing, and we had some slot fish and some too small. And
I had the distinction, I think I might have been the only one in any of the 3 boats that didn't get a bite.
How did you manage that?
I don't know. That's
well,
what
Wes,
questions like that are what keeps me fishing.
Okay.
Wes hates using anything if you're using Lindy rigs. So Lindy rig is just a long, like 6-7 foot piece of fluorocarbon line with just a hook on it, and then you usually hook a leech on it or a night crawler, and you just work the bottom. The problem is, you got to usually feed them a little line, and sometimes they swallow it. So, you end up cutting the line up high so you don't kill the fish, especially if it's in the slot. But anyway, Wes isn't a fan of using those. Me, I don't necessarily like using them, but that's what it takes to catch the fish, then I will use them. So,
well, go a little beyond that. I don't even like trolling. I mean, that's my least preferred way to catch fish. My favorite is casting. I love to cast jigs, plugs, topwater. And maybe part of that is I caught my biggest walleye trolling crankbaits, I think we may have been using downriggers a few years ago on Lake of the Woods, and I honestly didn't know if it was a fish until it got about 35 feet from the boat. I was fishing with a guide, and I said, I don't know if this is a fish. He said, oh, what else could it be? I says, well, it feels like a branch, quite honestly. There was zero fight. It was like dragging in just dead weight.
Oh.
And then it got, and about 35 feet away, then it started fighting a little bit. But when I got it in, I thought, that is the most disappointing big fish I've ever caught in my life.
You like a little more fight in them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, you want to
exactly.
tell you have a fish. I
To
mean,
be able to feel it.
yeah.
So-
Huh. Okay.
But we do troll for lake trout early in the spring. We're going to try and make it up lake trout fishing here in the next, before September 30th in Canada again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Wes had a blast up there went up with a few other guys, and they stayed at one of the resorts up there. And
Manitou Weather Station. I'll mention it and give them a plug because it's a top-notch outfit, a top-notch fishing camp and resort.
and the people that were
Very
operating
very
on
well run.
was S-Link
Yeah,
from Emo.
Yeah,
Yep. But I know they had a father-son from Wisconsin there. Never fished the lake before.
yeah. I talked about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5 walleyes over 30 inches. Yeah, that's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, never. And the 46.5-inch muskie and an 18-inch smallmouth and
38
37-inch,
Yeah,
38-inch trout.
Yeah.
Wow. So is that all on Lake of the Woods?
That was on Manitou,
Oh, on Manitou.
lower Manitou. Yeah. Well, Manitou is a fairly big body of water, kind of long, but there's also some pretty major open water too. And I got about 3/4 of the way up in lower Manitou, and there's still, I was maybe halfway or less. So, and I was up 25 miles. So,
Wow.
Yeah. You have to go in a lake called Esox, and you have to go through there first to get to Manitou.
Oh, okay.
So I think you take a little different route when in the wintertime with snowmobile, but it is very good fishing up there. I know that. I haven't fished it in quite a few years, but we used to fish it a lot. But it's I know it's a great lake. They own 3 resorts up there, and basically all the resorts on Manitou. There's Barker Bay, there's Camp Manitou, and then there's a weather station. That's the 3 resorts.
So it's feeling like fall, at least the air.
things are
does.
changing. Yeah,
Is that-
I actually
Do you see
found
that on the lake too?
Well, I actually found a fairly decent summer pattern yesterday, but a week before that wasn't there. They were, I think the fish were in transition. I don't know what kind of brought them back for a day, but after today, that'll probably change again to the
It's
next
supposed to get pretty cool.
3 days, 4 days are supposed to be.
And the wind's changing out of the north. And
That water temp will get down to 60 pretty fast now.
Okay.
So I think yesterday we had 66 or something.
Right. Yeah. The fishing is definitely going to change. And it should change in the river, too, because the river's been really slow. Well, we tried it again, and it's not good in there. So, but that'll change.
Yeah.
It'll get good in there. And you can usually go in there and catch limits crappies, too, at certain times of the year. So that's coming. But when the lake slows down, the river usually gets good.
Okay.
So
So you've got a few more weeks to go.
Yeah. And it's reasons like that and fishing like that here that makes it hard to get up to trout fishing for the last month. As it closes on the 30th. So
right.
it's too much water, so little time.
But we did get some good information from a guy that has a cabin up in Manitou, and he said this month is the best month for fishing trout. He said they really can. I mean, I've heard of where they catch like 30, 40 in an hour. Yeah. So
Wow.
they really get.
What are the limits for trout up there?
One.
I think 2 if you're Canadian, I believe. Anyway,
Okay.
that's all I have.
All right. Anything else, Wes?
Nope. We'll hopefully get back next week
Sounds good.
with a more of a fall fishing
Yeah.
report. Or
Yeah, I
we're
know
headed
it
that way for sure.
Seems
So
like it's changed almost overnight.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
all right. Well,
All right.
thank you guys.
Have
Yep.
a great
Be
day.
safe.
Find this and past episodes of Hooked on Fishing on our YouTube channel at Psalm FM. Hooked on Fishing is sponsored by Hardee's in International Falls and Hibbing.